Hello and welcome to Frank's School. I'm going to go on with Burke, James Burke's The Day the Universe Changed. This is his 5th episode now, Infinitely Reasonable it's called. And that word reason, I think of this as the 18th century. That has the nickname the Age of Reason. You could also think of it as the 1700s. And he opens, this is pretty easy to follow actually now, and I would say you can go halfway through it in a class period. What I'm going to say shouldn't take that long. It opens in Maria Theresa's palace in Vienna. Now Maria Theresa is somebody that Americans probably don't even know who she was. I remember a tour guide, one time I took students to Europe, and the tour guide was horrified that none of the Americans had ever heard of Maria Theresa. She was major. Well, anyway, her palace in Vienna, and then the Vienna lakes, you'll see that. And here's some geography. I think a way that you could work with a class, if you were watching this and teaching with it, you could use the geography. From there he goes to Trento, which is in northern Italy. From there he goes to Fromburg, and I don't know how to spell it. That's a symbol you can use, or I use sometimes if I'm not sure of the spelling. I'm hearing it, but I'm not sure if I've got that spelled right. In Poland, I think. And then he goes to Venice. And then he goes to Denmark, and that's the point where I would say you should stop, about halfway through. An island off the coast of Denmark. And the people he's going to be talking about in this part are Aristotle. Is being supplanted by Copernicus. Probably your students would have heard of Copernicus. And then I don't know how to spell this man's name. I only heard it, Brahe. So whenever that happens, I use my spelling system. And it's not really quite right. I almost need a double A for that. But Brahe. Not famous enough that I would know his name. But again, there I would stop. Now, things to point out. Power. He's going to talk about we have so much power at our fingertips. Now, he's flipping the sound and the lights on in Maria Theresa's palace. That has to do with what I was talking about yesterday with Wedge's paradigm in a way. Baroque music, you hear it immediately at the beginning. That's what's coming out of the wall. You're hearing Baroque music. Now, later, and he doesn't say anything about Baroque music. He does say about Baroque art. And I think it's interesting, for me anyway, that I love Baroque music. I don't really like Baroque art, and I don't know why that would be. But his subject is neither one of those, actually. He's a science historian. Astronomy becomes the principal subject of this episode. He'll deal with the Council of Trent, which produced the Counter-Reformation, the Catholic Church's reaction against the Protestant Reformation. You'll hear the word Inquisition. Well, the Spanish Inquisition is notorious for its brutality. He uses the expression power of thumbscrew. A thumbscrew is actually something that you could screw your thumb and make it go flat like a vice as a torture machine. And the Jesuits, the Jesuit priests, they became infamous too because they were so aggressive. A certain kind of priest. Now I put Innsbruck here in Church in the Meadow, or Wiese. Kirche in der Wiese, I think is being German. That's personal in a way because the Baroque interiors, a Baroque church. What I did when I was teaching in public schools is I showed the part of Amadeus where Mozart is getting married to show the interior there of a Baroque church. But, and you can see it other places in Europe. In Innsbruck, I followed signs. I was there with a group of students and they went their ways. And I followed signs that said, go see the church, go see the church. And I didn't know anything about the church, but I went in and it was dark, and I went through a curtain sort of, and boom, there was a Baroque interior, all white and gold. And I talked about that in the first year of teaching. And also, again, in a time, I don't know if it was this, I don't think it was the same time, I was with students on a tour, and the bus driver sort of commandeered the tour from the tour guide because he was German and she was English, and he didn't appreciate that she didn't appreciate what was there to show, and he basically forced the issue that he was going to stop where the people on the bus could see this church in a field, it's a field, and here in this church is a dazzling Baroque interior. All right, and now this is about his style. He talks about falling down. Well, if down is an adverb, falling down, but it's a pun, because down also means a feather, the light feathers, and the down is falling down. He also plays with words when he says drop everything. That means let everything go, but also he's referring to the fact that he started to drop things. Theology, and he made theology theatrical. Thea. That's kind of a pun based on Greek, and that's that Baroque, the Baroque art that was so theatrical. There's that word underwhelming. I've talked about it before. I think it might be the second time he's used that word in the series, possibly. And I would say that parallax, and I have no idea how to spell it, it's probably only one L, I don't know. Parallax, that would be a place to stop. You have to stop somewhere, because I don't think it would fit in a whole class period, and that's about halfway through. And that would be about as good a place as any I know. It's about the 28th minute or something like that. All right, so this is a pretty fun viewing, I hope, for you. See you tomorrow. And tomorrow I may begin to double up, and I may begin to read the Decentralist Manifesto. We'll see. Bye for now.